Oh my God, there are some dumbass people out there. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Let's Talk Raptors. I'm your host, Sham, my channel where you get reviews, analysis, predictions, and hot takes on all things Raptors as well as some NBA. So, the free agency started today. Some of the rumors started before that involved the Raptors, and I'll get to those rumors because they are just utter nonsense. But I want to give you guys the news. So, without further ado, let's talk Raptors free agency. 6 o'clock today. I think it was around 6:15. We finally found out what the Raptors have been doing. Number one, they signed Chris Boucher to a $35 million 3-year contract. Now, I said in my last video that the Raptors needed to keep it between 10 to 12 million. I think beyond that, Chris Boucher wouldn't be worth it unless it was a sign and trade. And the Raptors did a brilliant job. They kept it around 11.33 per year. And what they got back in Chris Boucher was a guy who finally realized his role, which was a guy to come off of the bench, be energetic, offensive rebounds, getting his buckets by putbacks, and just being a pest. And I think he's worth the contract that he got. It wasn't too expensive. And I think after accepting his role, the Raptors should have given him a chance to prove it. And if he doesn't do what we need him to do, his contract is not that expensive. It's a very reasonable contract that other teams might possibly want to get in order to increase their bench depth, who might think that they have a chance at the championship. So getting rid of 11 million is not too hard. Now, the second news was that we brought back Thaddeus Young. Thaddeus Young was earning $14 million this year, past year. So you expected that he would be above that. But the Raptors, once again, Masai Ujiri, doing a brilliant job at getting Thaddeus Young for $16 million 2-year contract, which means that he will be paid $8 million a year, which allows the Raptors to keep their mid-level exceptions in there. And what we get in return is a guy who came in after the trade deadline and kind of helped pressure the situation where Chris Boucher, Scotty Barnes realize, get a little bit of a veteran mentality going. They took a next step, especially given the leadership that Tad Young brought. OG, Freddie and Pascal have been in the league, but they haven't been there for 10, 14 years. So there's things that you learn with experience, even if you might not have the talent, but you have the guidance, and guys tend to listen to you. So that's what he brought to us. He brought that leadership. He actually showed that he still has some fire in him because he was a defensive weapon. He was able to get rebounds. He was able to help us break the zone because he knew how to play the zone for so long. And especially in Chicago, where with Tim Thibodeau, he used to play that a lot. And $8 million is not bad. And once again, if you need to get off of that contract, it's not going to be hard. There's a lot of teams that look for defensive 3 and D guys. He's not really a 3 guy, but a defensive wing. That's something that the league is looking for. Every team is looking for. So to give them $8 million contract, it won't be hard to get rid of it. So again, a brilliant signing by the Raptors. Now to the rumors. The first rumor is that Fred VanVleet will probably be offered a $110 million extension, and I have mixed feelings about it. Because I love Fred VanVleet. He's great. And I know he's the type of guy that will prove that he deserves that $110 million because he's always bet on himself, and he's shown that. The only issue I have with that is that it might result in Gary Trent Jr. walking because we might not have enough money to keep Gary Trent Jr. And I like Gary Trent Jr. His age is younger. He's more tenacious. He's a closer. He can create his own shots. Plus, he has that height, and his defense is improving. So that just kind of keep me a little bit hesitant in offering that money just now, especially if we don't know where we will be at next year. Like if we get to the Eastern Conference Finals with Freddie, then that means you keep him because the next year you just need to tweak it a little bit. But if we end up getting eliminated in the first playoff round, then that means that the Raptors need to switch things up a lot more, which means that you move forward with Scotty, OG, Gary Trent, and Precious as your main pieces. And if you need to, because Pascal and Freddie are going to be getting into the middle of their prime or getting older, you move on from one of them or both of them. That's how that's how an organization should work. So $110 million to Freddie right now might not be the greatest idea, but knowing Masai Ujiri, that allows teams to know that a great point guard, an all-star type of point guard, caliber point guard, possibly a superstar or a star, is locked in for several years at about a 25, 23, I think it's 4 years, so about $27 million contract. Idiots like Jalen Brunson are getting. He's a good player, but he doesn't deserve that just yet off of just one good year. But Freddie has had several good years, so teams will be looking for that. It's not that expensive of a contract, and teams want veteran point guards or guards that are really good and they have one championship caliber, are championship caliber players. So that's what that was. I'm a little bit doubtful of that right now, but again, like I said, I believe in Freddie and he'll make that count even if you do give him the money. Now, the dumbass rumor by the analyst is that the Raptors should trade Scottie Barnes for Kevin Durant. Now, first of all, Kevin Durant asked for that trade from Brooklyn Nets, and the Suns that are involved and the Heat that are involved. But some analysts are saying that the Raptors have the young assets to be able to trade for Kevin Durant, and they should. That is a dumbass move, okay? Scottie Barnes is a guy who is the next step in Giannis Antetokounmpo. This guy has already shown improvement in his three-point shot. He's finishing around the rim. He doesn't get knocked down by a wall. He's able to finish around that wall. He is a defensive beast. He has all the intangibles. He's able to be a point forward. And you want to give that up for a guy in Kevin Durant, who is, first of all, 34 years of age, who is coming off of injuries, who's not had a complete season since his ACL tear. God forbid that happens to him again. And who had an abysmal performance against the Celtics in the most recent playoffs. Celtics who were garbage, who were, turnover machines. And he sucked that bad. And he also is a moody person. You want to trade a budding superstar for that. And it won't just be that Scottie Barnes. It will be OG Anunoby, a shitload of first rounders, because Brooklyn Nets aren't going to want just cheap shit. They're going to want a lot of things for Kevin Durant because of all the shit that Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving put through the Brooklyn Nets through. So should the Raptors make this move? Hell no. Who suggested it? A dumbass, okay? Because this is not happening. Masai Ujiri, we do not need an assassin. We will be in a championship format either next year or the year after that because we have that young talent. Believe in what you're doing. We do not need an assassin again. Yes, Kevin Durant might be locked in for another 4 years, but there is no stopping these players these days to ask for a trade. We can possibly win a championship where, do a Kawhi Leonard thing again. You got lucky once. Let's, in regards to Kawhi Leonard coming in and everything just clicking together. Shit like that doesn't happen every time with every guy. Okay? So we earned that championship, and it wasn't Kawhi who did everything for us. It was the skeleton the skeleton that you had created with Kyle Lowry, Serge Ibaka, Marc Gasol, all of those things that contributed to that championship. So at this time, it's about thinking about the long run, not about a short-term win in another championship, okay? So that's all I have for you guys for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed the content, enjoyed the news and the analysis around it. And I hope this dumbass news does not get to the Raptors and they make some idiotic move of moving on with Scottie Barnes. Anyways, moving off of Scottie Barnes. Anyways, guys, please hit that like and subscribe button, and I will see you guys after my next video.